Today, I would like to talk to all of you about a very ongoing, controversial topic, and it's an issue in the sports world today. This involves the NCAA, and should they be paying their Division I athletes? The issue with the NCAA has been a very controversial topic for probably the past 10 years, and there's very valid reasons for both sides. The purpose of my speech today is to give you guys a couple of reasons on each side, but not reveal my opinion on any of these issues. Hopefully you guys can enjoy the speech, and let's get started. First, I would like to talk about a little bit of information on a statistic that I found. For every high school athlete who dreams of going on to play in college, only around 7% of them actually do. Less than 2% of these go on to play at a Division I school. The reason I share this statistic is because the Division I school is where the controversy is about being paid, saying that they're the top tier athletes, just a step below the professional level, ideally. First, let's talk about why they should be paid. I found this political cartoon online. Hopefully it's easy enough to see. And you see the two college players, and they're towing what seems to be a luxurious car, kind of like a Rolls Royce, and there's this NCAA banner that's on it. What I got from this political cartoon was that college players are doing all the work while the NCAA just gets to ride in their profits. That is a very common interest in the people who are battling for college athletes to be paid. It says, no money, no gifts, no cars, no endorsement deals. Tell me why again we are doing this. And the other one says, for an education, but I'm not feeling too smart, which is another common issue with college athletes being paid, realizing they're not in class enough. First, I'd like to talk about being an athlete is like a full-time job. According to writer Dave Anderson, the average Division I college athlete spends over 40 hours a week just on their sport. This includes travel, film, practices, training, and etc. They must attend all of these because if they don't, then they could get in jeopardy of being suspended by their coach, and then this could also lose their scholarship. On top of all this, they must attend their class. Also, in the article by Dave Anderson, he goes on to say that there is a required 10 hours of class each week. If they attend these 10 hours of class and then spend the recommended 4 hours of study per each hour of class, they are also spending 50 hours each week just on their classroom work. The average full-time job in America is 40 hours a week. Now, with the 40 hours a week of being an athlete and then the 50 hours a week roughly of being a student, they're technically working 2 full-time jobs. So the problem here is they really don't have any other time to get a part-time job to make actual income for themselves. Another example would be games. The Duke versus Kentucky game took place last night, and it was a very late game, and it didn't get over till around 11 p.m. So not only did they miss class on Monday to fly there, and then Tuesday with the game and being at practice, they also are probably missing class today, but this is a common issue with winter sports that have multiple games in the same week. So the issue with them having enough time not only to be a student, but then a job, it really is very hard to do, and that's why there's the push to be paid. Another reason is that they risk their bodies for serious injuries. Scholarships can be removed at any time. There are no guarantees in sports, ever. According to New York Times writer Ben Strauss, NCAA athletes can lose their scholarship if they're injured. They also then have to pay their own insurance, and usually they're stuck with a long-term health issue later down the line. Now this is pretty serious considering you're stuck at this D1 university now. I mean, you could probably transfer out after the semester, but you're going to have to pay the rest of the fees most likely. Those are the reasons as to why they should be paid. I would like to look at why they should not be paid. The first reason I had is that, that I found when I was researching it, is that it defeats the purpose of college sports. It loses the competitiveness of being in college. Meaning that the whole reason for college is that they're at an amateur level and they're trying to work and get into this professional level so they can be paid doing the sport that they love. In an article posted on College Express, the author Martinez writes that if payments were involved, athletes would be choosing schools solely based off of pay, so then it would turn 100% into a business. I understand this issue, and as a fan of the game, it's pretty obvious that if they were to be paid, then maybe they would just go to whatever school is offering the most money as a salary versus an actual playing opportunity. This would most likely take the joy out of college. Another issue is that they are already receiving a full scholarship with all the college costs covered. According to the article, Top 10 Reasons College Athletes Should Not Be Paid, the average in-state tuition at Ohio State University is $10,000 a year. The average athlete scholarship there is $17,856. The issue with this is that they're saying that they're receiving more money than just the school is, because they understand that there are other costs, but people understand that, well, the people who give away the scholarships understand that there are other expenses that need to be, so an additional salary on top of this just doesn't seem to be right. I mean, who doesn't want to go to college for free and then have no student loans? So now you guys have seen both sides as to why they should be paid and why they should not be paid. You guys can form your own opinion on it, but there are positives for both sides. However, I feel this issue will not be resolved anytime soon. Thank you.